You're watching WRDA Channel 113. Your home for almost all things reluctant Disney adult. Coming up tonight, at 7 p.m., take an adventure into film history with the great movie ride, The Movie. Then, at 10 p.m., an all-new episode of Behind the Mouse looks into the questionable history of George Geef. After the local news, be sure to catch an all-new episode of Anya Tonight. But first, we have an editorial from our station manager, Amy. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alrededor de las puertas. Those words mean Walt Disney World to me. It's what I heard on that first trip on the monorail to the Magic Kingdom, and it sticks with me to this day. I can remember that trip rather vividly. We hear the message, the doors close, and off, gliding around the Seven Seas Lagoon we go. But before we reach our destination, the monorail does something odd. We're going indoors. Before long, the grandeur of the Grand Canyon Concourse is before us. Sitting at the center of the contemporary resort, the cutting edge of 1971. Unseen down below are weary parents and their overstimulated kids eating Mickey Mouse-shaped waffles while being entertained by Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto, also known as the Fab Five. There's a station here, but we continue on through. This is the express monorail to the Magic Kingdom, after all. So just as quickly as we went inside, we're back outside. And then we spot it. Cinderella's castle in all of its glory. Closer and closer we move until finally it's hidden behind the Main Street station of the Walt Disney World Railroad. We are here. Wait. We're going past it. Are we not stopping? Oh no! Oh, the station is over here. Duh. The monorail slows down and slows down some more. And then it stops. Within seconds, the doors are open and we are off to the front gate of the Magic Kingdom, the most magical place on Earth. Allegedly. It's time to discover or remember the magic and make some new memories. It's a powerful memory, full of anticipation and joy. But memory is imperfect. It removes the waiting forever in the line to get on the monorail. It ignores the fact that maybe you actually rode the resort monorail around the other way, or even headed to Epcot on your first monorail ride. Or maybe you didn't ride a monorail at all. Maybe you took the ferry to the Magic Kingdom, or one of the resort buses. Or maybe you walked around the lagoon. Or even took a minivan. For every ride to the Magic Kingdom that is a core memory, there's another that's just a Tuesday in the park. That mixture of the memorable and the mundane is the nature of the Walt Disney World Transportation System. Sometimes it's an attraction in and of itself. But most of the time, it's just a good way to get from point A to point B. Sure, Disney wants us to think that every experience we have on property is pure magic. But that just isn't true. Sometimes you get that perfect view of the lights and the fireworks and Spaceship Earth from the comfort of an empty Skyliner gondola. But just as often, if not more so, it's a ride on that same Skyliner in the middle of a 90-degree day, and all you want is to retreat to the comfort of your dark room and its heavenly air conditioning to take a nap But the Skyliner keeps stopping, and oh my god, that's swaying, and dang it, that narrator won't shut up. Oh my god, who gives a crap about the Riviera Resort? Sorry about that. Let's move on. Beyond being a service for guests, transportation in and of itself is foundational to the very concept of Disney theme parks. After a rocky time for the studio in the 1940s, Walt Disney became disillusioned with animation and looked for something else to do with his time. Therefore, he turned to a new passion. No, not blaming everything bad that happened to him on the communists. I'm talking about the other passion. Trains. From building his own backyard train came the idea that would blossom into Disneyland. But he wasn't done. You see, building the happiest place on earth wasn't enough for him. He had his sights set on more than just a fun time at the park. He wanted to build the perfect city. After years of planning, designing, and secret land acquisitions, Walt let us in on what was to be his magnum opus, the experimental prototype city of tomorrow, or Epcot for short. The city would have everything you'd need, like recreation, industrial innovation, and an international showcase, while nothing you didn't, like democracy. Now, did this utopia include transportation? Golly gee, you bet it did. A monorail at its center and radiating out to the tranquil neighborhoods would be a type of light rail system called people movers. The plan was idealistic and had good intentions. It also had zero bearing on the realities of city planning and papered over the structural inequality of American society with technocratic top-down solutions. In December 1966, it became irrelevant. Walt Disney died, and with it went his model city. But in its place stands Walt Disney World. The monorail, central to Walt's vision, was built, and is still the cornerstone of the transportation network. Around it came the boats and buses, and, in 2019, the Skyliner. Though more functional than futuristic, it's still a robust transportation system for the Disney bubble. Now, Amy, what do you mean by the Disney bubble? I'm referring to it as the idea of staying, eating, playing, and shopping without ever leaving Disney property. Though not the same degree of immersion as the theme parks, it's almost as if you've stepped aside of reality for a while when you are inside this bubble. Now that feeling is by design. You see, Disney doesn't just want to be part of your vacation, it wants to be the only part. By keeping you on property, they are betting that you'll spend more or all of your money with them and ignore their competitors. We must always be mindful of the Disney contradiction. There is no doubt Walt Disney World can be magical. It's not wrong to feel that way. I know I sure have. But we cannot forget that behind the magic is a giant money-making machine that is susceptible to incompetent management, exploitation of its workforce, and diminishment in the quality of service. So rather than celebrating the company or the inanimate machines and tracks, why don't we instead celebrate the people? More specifically, let's celebrate the hundreds of cast members who drive, maintain, and otherwise keep the system running. Without them, we couldn't make it to our Muppets, our Dumbos, our Yetis and Figments that make the visits to Disney World worth it. In gratitude, we lift our glasses and offer one final refrain. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. This has been a Station Manager editorial. Stay tuned for the great movie ride, The Movie.